Desmond Doss was not raised to be a warrior. He was raised to be obedient, not to men, but to principles. Born in 1919 in Lynchburg, Virginia, Desmond grew up during a time when America itself was struggling to survive. The Great Depression left little room for dreams. His family lived simply, guided by faith, discipline, and a strict moral code rooted in the Bible. One moment from his childhood never left him. After witnessing a violent argument between his parents, Desmond became obsessed with a single commandment hanging on the wall of his home: "Thou shalt not kill." To him, it wasn't symbolic. It wasn't philosophical. It was absolute. A war he could not ignore when World War II erupted. Desmond faced a conflict far greater than any battlefield. America needed soldiers. His conscience forbade violence. But Desmond did not believe faith was an excuse for inaction. While others enlisted to fight, he enlisted to save lives. In April 1942, he joined the United States Army, fully aware that his beliefs would make him different. He was right. The most hated man in training from the first day of basic training, Desmond Doss became a problem. He refused to carry a rifle, refused to touch a weapon, refused to train for killing. To his commanders, he was a liability. To his fellow soldiers, he was a coward. They insulted him. They isolated him. They punished him. Some threw boots at him. Others beat him in the barracks. While he slept, officers tried to break him psychologically, assigning him the hardest tasks, denying him rest, threatening prison. At one point, the army tried to court-martial him. Desmond never raised his voice, never struck back, never quit. He repeated the same sentence over and over: "I want to serve my country. I just can't kill." Eventually, they allowed him one rule: combat medic. The Pacific War is not mercy. Desmond was sent to the Pacific Theater, a war unlike anything America had ever faced. The jungle was alive. The heat was suffocating. Death came suddenly and without warning. In Guam, Desmond ran into open fire to treat wounded men. He dragged bodies through mud while bullets ripped leaves apart above his head. Something changed. Men who once mocked him now screamed his name when they were hit. He never hesitated. Okinawa, where men broke April 1945, Okinawa. The island would become the bloodiest battle of the Pacific War. At its center stood a towering cliff, the Maida Escarpment, later known as Hacksaw Ridge. American troops climbed cargo nets under fire, only to be met with machine guns, artillery, and grenades hidden in caves. The ground shook constantly. Bodies piled up. Units collapsed. After devastating losses, the order was given: retreat. Most men withdrew. Desmond Doss stayed behind. Alone on Hacksaw Ridge, night fell. The ridge was silent, except for the moans of wounded men scattered across the battlefield. Desmond moved through smoke and darkness, unarmed, exposed. Completely alone, he found one man, treated him, dragged him to the cliff. Using a rope, he lowered the soldier down, then turned back. Each time, he prayed quietly, "Lord, help me get one more." Bullets cracked around him. Explosions lit the sky. Enemy soldiers were still nearby. He kept moving, hour after hour. By dawn, 75 American soldiers had been saved, one at a time, by a man who never fired a shot. Wounded, refusing to leave. Days later, Desmond was struck by shrapnel from a grenade, bleeding badly. He treated another wounded soldier before himself. Later, A sniper shot him in the arm, instead of calling for help. Desmond made his own splint, crawled nearly 300 yards under fire, and finally collapsed. Only then did he allow evacuation, a medal earned without violence, Desmond. Doss received the Medal of Honor. President Harry Truman shook his hand and said, "I'm proud of you. You really deserve this." Doss never considered himself a hero. He said he simply did what he believed was right. What Desmond Doss proved, Desmond Doss changed the definition of courage. He proved that conviction can survive ridicule, that faith can stand inside hell itself, and that a man can walk into the deadliest battlefield of World War II without a weapon and still become a legend. He didn't fight the enemy. He fought despair, and he won.